She's done 14,900 over the last 30 days. I'm here with Amanda. She's primarily doing eBay to Amazon flips. Welcome to the Amazon Savages podcast.
Welcome to the Amazon Savages podcast. Hear the stories of Amazon sellers crushing it in the game and keep up with the latest strategies that are working. Sit back, relax, and remember, if you truly try and work really hard, you will make a ridiculous amount of money selling on Amazon.
All right, Amanda, tell us how you did it. How'd you get to 14,900?
eBay to Amazon. That's been my niche the last year or so, I'd say.
All right, walk us through what that looks like. What are you doing? Are you using a prep center? And yeah, kind of walk us through what it looks like.
So I started in December last year and I just kind of went all in. I did it all using FlipMine and just kind of looking for products off eBay that I could flip on Amazon. Then in June, I hired a virtual assistant and I hired two. Now I'm down to one and I still prep everything myself. And that's just kind of what we do is just go from there.
Remind me what state you're in again?
I'm in Washington State.
Okay, nice. So you're paying sales tax on these items?
No, because you can get tax exempt on eBay. So even if
nice.
I found a prep center, I can find one in Washington and still not pay taxes.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
So
kind of
how
sweet.
the scaling up to that 14,000 look? Did you start really slow with just a few thousand in spend and then slowly work your way up?
Yeah, I started small, buying products between $15, $20, $30. And now I'm spending about $60 to $80 per item. So I
Nice.
definitely started small.
So why did you go up to $60 to $80 per item?
Higher margins. Just in the beginning, I had cash flow issues. I wasn't able to, spend that money. I'd rather buy 3 products for the $60 than one product. But now I have a little bit more cash flow. It's easier to spend that more money. So.
And off the around 15,000 in sales, do you know what your margin is on that?
When I'm doing eBay to Amazon, I do a strict 40%. So then after all of my subscriptions and my fees and everything, it'll come down to 30% in my pocket.
Nice. That's awesome.
Hey, hope you're enjoying the podcast. Just wanted to shoot this quick video to tell you that we're doing a book selling boot camp December 9th, Saturday at 6 p.m. Amanda will be speaking. She'll be sharing in-depth strategies flipping from eBay to Amazon. And we have 2 other speakers. One of our speakers is a couple. They're doing $17,000 a month just selling used books. And then we also have Devin, who sold over $500,000 in used books in a 12-month period. And we'll be doing a live Q&A at the end. They'll be sharing strategies. It's 100% free. Just click the link below if you want to save your seat. And let's get back to the pod.
Yeah.
And so what's your day-to-day look like with this?
Honestly, because now that I have a virtual assistant, I just spend about 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes a day on it.
Okay.
I just kind of give her direction on where I want to go. But then there are some days where when I am prepping and sending them all in FBA, that takes about 4 hours. So I would say it's about 5 hours a week that I'm spending on it. So
Okay. And what's your assistant doing and what are you doing in the process?
she's sourcing, and she also does repricing, and everything like that. The things that I
So when you
do.
say sourcing, she's like, is she using FlipMine or is she going straight to eBay? Kind of walk us through what that process
Yeah,
is.
so she goes through FlipMine. You're able to set up filters through FlipMine, and she just goes through the category. She does DVDs, CDs, board games, kitchen items. She also does toys. So there's just a lot of stuff that I am gated in and ungated in. So we just kind of go through there.
And then she gives you a list of items that could be profitable. And then what % of those items are you actually purchasing? And what are you kind of looking for before you purchase the items?
So she does the purchasing as well. So I tell her the minimum is 40% ROI and a $10 profit, which is actually a $12 profit because I put in a $2 prep fee in there to kind of buffer her time doing it and my time prepping it. So
Okay. And are you giving her any profit reward? Like if she finds more profitable items, does she get paid more? Or are you just kind of doing like, does she get paid more for her work if she does a good job?
Not yet. I have not instilled that yet. So I did have to let one of my VAs go a month or two ago because she wasn't performing And because that one wasn't performing, the one I have now was underperforming. So on the books, it doesn't even look like I let a VA go because the one is stepping it up pretty well.
Nice.
But I do offer a rice allowance and internet incentive. So I pay half her internet and I give her a
Nice.
$10 rice allowance every month.
What does that run you each month?
$35.
Okay. And what does it run you for paying her in total?
$435
Okay.
is total.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how much are you spending on inventory?
Last month I spent 9,000 in inventory.
Nice. Getting up there.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm like,
Yeah, it
I
is.
can't believe I spent that much on eBay. It's crazy.
Yeah. What's your
Makes me
husband
a
think
little
about that?
sick, but you know what? It's all worth it.
Yeah. And at this point, are you able to pay yourself or are you just rolling everything back in?
I'm just rolling everything back in. I am fortunate enough that I still have a full-time job. My husband has income as well, so I am fortunate enough at this point I don't need to rely on it. So if I don't need to rely on it, I don't do it just yet.
Mm-hmm.
Today.
And did you ever go the thrifting route or have you always been eBay?
I did. I did do the thrifting route. I am super blessed in having an area where no one thrifts books. So every time I went, I would get like 30 to 40 books per store. And I
Nice.
have like 6 or 7 thrift stores here. So
Nice.
I should go more often, but I just don't.
Yeah. What were you sending a month? You said you're finding about 40 books.
Yeah, I would send about 200 a month. And
Nice.
then I would hit up library sales and stuff like that. So those
Nice.
were a lot of fun.
What did you find were most successful strategies for you for finding books? Was it library sales with thrift stores? Did you ever do anything like estate sales or any other strategies?
No, I didn't do estate sales. I really enjoyed the thrift stores, and making connections with the employees there.
Mhm.
Um, but I would never had a lot of luck at library sales just simply because I got bullied a lot. People would like throw elbows
Oh my
and
god. Yeah, I had a
I just
library sale up in Washington area. It was between Portland and Washington, whatever city that is. That was my first library sale ever, and I was looking through this lady's, cart by accident. I didn't realize people had carts for
oh
their
yeah,
books. I was like,
yeah.
"Oh, this is like here's a cart of books. Let me look through them." And I'm like, "Everything's profitable," and I was putting them all in my cart. And then I was like, "Holy shit, I'm looking through somebody else's profitable inventory," 'cause she left it there when she went somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then I felt so bad that I just took all the books back out of my cart, even the ones I found before, because I was so embarrassed. I put them in
Oh,
her cart and then I left and went to the other side of the library sale. And I could just see her like flustered, like looking in her cart, but she got more profitable. She got my profitable books and hers back. But it can be competitive up there. Like I remember going in there like, holy shit. Like I knew there was other resellers out there, but I didn't real like when everybody's in the same room at the same time, which is what library sales are, it
mhm.
really gets your testosterone pumping. You're like just going around competing with
Yeah.
everyone. It feels like an Easter egg hunt, and everyone's just grabbing all the profitable items, you know?
And, like, you've been doing this for so long, so you know what books you're looking for, and you're like, "Oh, that's gonna, like"
Yeah.
so that's a lot of them too, but me as a newbie, I'm like, "I don't know what's profitable," so I have to rely on my software,
Yeah.
which does eat up my time.
Yep.
And I would take my mom with me, and I love my mom to death, but she wanted to talk to everyone, and
Yeah.
no one wants that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Mom, stop talking." Or
That's funny.
they like sandwich me in, like they'd have a guy on each side of me and then like try and trap me and just it's
Yeah.
just not my style.
Yeah. Yeah, it can be stressful.
So, yeah,
So,
I enjoyed
library
it.
sales, you did thrift stores, anything else to find books?
Yard sales were actually also a big hit. That's where I got a lot of my textbooks. I
Mhm.
would see like, people lay out all their textbooks from previous because we have 2 colleges in our town, and they just lay them all out. I'm like, "I'll buy 100 for all of them," knowing, that and I would sell them all pretty well. So, like, those are, I think, the hidden gems too, are yard sales
Mhm.
for me in my
What
area.
did you get up to in sales just thrifting?
I got up to 6,000.
Nice.
So, yeah, I was pretty happy with that, but I knew, like, I wanted to go higher.
Mhm.
Um, and I also have, like, a bad back. So, like, books are heavy, and so,
Mhm.
like and that is why I switched to the eBay. is
Mhm.
because, I don't have to lift the heavy books anymore and stuff like that.
Right. And you're mainly buying, you said, CDs, DVDs on eBay?
CDs, DVDs, games, board games, toys. I'm
Nice.
buying a lot of toys right now for Q4.
Nice. And do you know how many units you've sold the last 30 days?
Let me look. I think it was like 210 from what I remember, but
Do you know what your active inventory is?
300. I have
300.
really low inventory.
Nice.
Um,
So you're selling almost like close to 80% probably?
yeah. Yeah, I sold 230 last 30 days.
Nice.
230.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah, which makes me nervous because I'm going all FBM for December. And
Okay.
so if I have to ship out 230 items,
Yeah.
wish me
Good
luck.
problems. Good problems to have though.
Yeah, for sure.
Remind me, are you full-time?
Yeah, I would say. I
Mhm.
say I'm part-time, but I'm pretty much full-time.
Yeah. I mean, 15,000 at, you said, a 40% gross margin.
Mhm.
That's pretty good. What is that? 6,000?
Yeah, yeah, something like that.
What's
Yeah.
your aspirations? What do you want to get that up to?
I wanna get it to, like, 80, 90,000 a month. I would love to sell 1,000,000 in a year. Like,
Mhm.
that's my goal.
Yeah.
I wanna get there, so
I think you can do it.
yeah, I
Pass
can.
Steve up.
Yeah, exactly. I said that the other day, I'm like, "What are you gonna do when I surpass you? Like, how are you gonna feel about
Then you'll start running the webinars.
that?" Yeah, exactly.
What few things have really helped you have allowed you to get to the point where you're confident spending, thousands a month, 9,000 a month? What things have allowed you to have that type of confidence?
Trusting your gut, I think is my thing is like I trust myself. I've done so much research. I've watched the YouTube videos. I follow all the people who are doing it and continuously learning from them and then just trusting that I know what I'm talking about and relying on those softwares like Keepa and Seller Amp and everything like that, is
Mhm,
really important. So you just got to have you just got to know you know it. And that was
mhm.
my biggest step for me
Yeah.
personally.
You've been pretty involved with the community too. How much has that helped you?
So much, I would say, like, this is my 3rd business, the other first 2 businesses failed, and the reason why they failed is I had horrible mentors or I didn't have any mentors,
Mhm,
and so even though I'm not, like, friends with all of the people I follow on, YouTube or whatever, I still know who they are and I'm still part of their community, um, and just surrounding myself with people who have the same like-minded is
mhm,
is what made me where I am today for sure.
mhm. And you got a group of girls you meet with. You meet with those girls, right?
I
You're
do,
part of the.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do, yeah.
Tell us a
Um,
little bit about that.
so I meet with, Cindy, Ginger, Dee, Amy, and Jessica, and it's just nice to have female presence in this space because it is
Yep.
very male dominated.
Yep.
So it's nice to have, like, the girl talk, like,
Mhm.
finding our own leads and just making our own footprint in this.
Yeah.
So and it's just nice to have girls, that you can
Yep.
rely on and, share your secrets with or share, like, sometimes we exchange leads and it's kinda nice.
Mhm.
So,
Nice. And how'd you get that group going?
so I met them at Miami Seller Conference last
Hey.
year. So, yeah, and then, obviously through Steve. Steve knows all of them very well also.
Yeah.
Um, so I've just kinda kept the conversations going and hanging we all then went to Oklahoma together, and hung out there, so, but yeah, it's great to have, like, a good close of people that you can just connect with every day.
Mhm.
So and we all sell different items, which makes it even better. Like, we're not all RA, like, one girl does only books,
Mhm.
one does only RA, one does eBay to Amazon, and then the other one does everything. So it's
Yeah.
nice to have a mix of everything in there. So, if I wanna switch to wholesale, I could probably ask one of them
Yeah.
and be able to, like, get guidance on that.
Right. That's
So
awesome. What advice would you have for a younger Amanda who wants to get into selling on Amazon, but she just has no idea where to get started?
just just go, just do it. I mean, I invested $500 in the beginning, and so that's just a small price. Like that to what the potential is and what it's gonna
Mhm.
go. Don't even sweat about the 500, to be honest. Like
Mhm.
it's gonna grow, and it's even if it's not about the money for me, it's about the connections, the friendships, I work from home, and so I have no socialization really, and so
Mhm.
even having that community of people I can talk to and hang out with is so great. That's what
Mhm.
I need in my life is people and friendships and community and stuff.
100%. It makes it so much more fun. It can be
Yeah.
lonely out here running your Amazon business.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Much better to have friends, even if your friends are technically your competition. Like there's thousands and thousands of Amazon sellers. Pick a few of them, become friends with them. At the end of the day, we only all have so much bankroll, whether that's 1,000 a month or 100,000 or 200,000. Like you can only buy so much inventory. And the truth is, there's millions and millions, if not billions of dollars of inventory to be purchased. And so having a group of friends, even if they're your competition, you can learn so much, you can share leads, you can do so many things with them in order to have a positive sum experience in your Amazon business. And so a lot of people will kind of shell themselves off from the community after they find a good product, like mine, 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 mine. But then what they're not getting is the information and knowledge shared with everyone else, and even leads shared on top of the knowledge, and just really like I think it's underrated, like the motivation and camaraderie and all of that that you gain from just having a few tight knit friends in the space.
Exactly, and I love that, and even though we are competition to each other, but I feel like this space, everyone wants everyone to succeed in their own way, and so, like, even if I'm sitting next to somebody who's doing millions of dollars, they still want me to succeed just as much as I do, and it's not like, I'm gonna hide my stuff from you and never tell you anything. It's like, I wanna share it so we can all grow and we can all be better, which
Mm-hmm.
is just amazing, that we can all
100%.
just rely on each other and support each other, and it's not like this cutthroat thing where I'm like,
Yeah.
"I'm gonna take your business, I'm gonna take it down." It's not like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Definitely. How was your experience at Miami?
Oh, I loved it. It was so amazing, like, I can't wait to go back. It's only 3 more months, and I'm, like,
Yeah.
waiting for it. Um, just you can't get that kind of experience on a Zoom or a call or whatever, it's little nuggets that you get just in the middle of a conversation that you didn't know you could you're like, "Oh, I didn't even think of it that way," or "I didn't even think of," whatever. And just establishing those kind of connections. Um, last week I was in Vegas and I hit up Jameson. I'm like, "Hey, let's go to dinner." And so we did. And so I would have never gotten that or met up with him if I hadn't gone to Miami.
Mhm.
Um, and you just learn so much and you just build these connections with people who you don't know what path they've taken. And so then you realize like everyone's path is similar, but also different. And so we can all just like help each other,
Mhm.
which is amazing because everyone's so nice.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
They're so welcoming because I'm a small fish in this big pool, like, so it's nice that I don't get like judged or anything like, "Oh, you're only doing 5,000 a month. Ooh, you can't hang with us." But it's not
Mhm.
like that. Everyone's so like, "Oh, that's great. That's amazing."
Yeah.
So, which is where I
Did
was
you
at.
ever have a moment where you met someone and they kinda, like, opened the doors of possibility for you? Like, when you met them, you're like, "Oh, this is really possible?"
Yeah, I do actually, and it was with Warner Fields.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was he was talking about how he invests in software and how he invests like, he takes his Amazon money and puts it elsewhere where it's more stable, and I'm like, "I could do that. I could take my Amazon money and put it elsewhere into something else, like, this could be my future investment of other things that just bankroll into other things." I don't have to just stick to Amazon. I can go to other things and fund other investments that I really want to pour my heart and soul into, you know?
And was that in
So
person with him?
mhm. Yeah, that was in person with him. That was at the night bar, the
Oh,
Nightlight.
yeah. Those good
So
vibes. Those really good
yeah.
vibes.
And it was just like a simple comment he made that it just clicked. Like, and I wasn't even like really part of the conversation. I think I was just listening in with everybody else. I think he was talking to either you or Steve,
Mhm.
but like, so it wasn't talking to me, but it hit me so hard. I'm like, this is possible. I could do this. And
Mhm.
I have what it takes to be there and sit with everybody else and be in this game, you know. Because I'd only been in it for like 3 months at this time.
Yep.
So it's crazy.
What's a myth that you think you used to believe about selling on Amazon that, or maybe a lot of people believe it, that you know is not true?
Um, FBM, the myth is that FBM is not worth it, which is completely false. I have sold so many things FBM that people still buy from FBM sellers. They don't just buy from Prime sellers.
Mhm.
So that to me was a huge myth that I was like, I could do, you know, the whole December FBM and still make good money and still make the same.
Mhm.
Um, just because last year it took like 6 weeks for my stuff to get checked in, and I wasn't about to go that route. And so that's why I knew that FBM can be also sustainable as FBA.
Mhm.
Because everyone said that FBM is not worth it, and you'll just sit on products, you'll lose a lot of money, which isn't the case.
Mhm.
So
What's your, when you receive the item, what's your flow for processing them and getting them out the door?
I get packages obviously every day. Um, Probably Tuesday or Wednesdays. Me and my husband will sit in here in my office. He'll open up he'll open up each package. I'll scan the barcode into our master sheet, and then that sheet tells me what the item is, how
Mhm.
much I paid for it, and what I should list it at. And then I don't know how you and Steve did it, but it connects beautifully with GoToLister. Then I go there and then I just do a copy and paste, and it just 2 seconds. And then I put it in a box, or I put it on the ground, and then like we then
You're
have to,
labeling, you're using a Rollo printer.
yep, label it, use a Rollo printer. Um, and I honestly don't even have to check the listing price because the smart pricer on GoToLister has always been like right on. If not, it's
Mhm.
always like a couple dollars more. So
Mhm.
that's been amazing. And then so once we got everything laid on the floor, I have another scanner and I do the box contents with GoToLister, which is amazing because I don't have inventory placement on anymore. So
Mhm.
everything gets split. So using that, just like scan the label I put on,
Yep.
scan it, and it tells me what box it goes
How big
into.
of batches are you doing to ensure, like, I'm curious, how how small is your smallest shipment and how big is your biggest shipment? Like, what kind of splits are you looking at?
So I try to hit 50 items per batch.
Mhm.
A lot of times it's like 25 and 25. A lot of
Okay.
times it's 25, 25, and 2.
Okay.
Um, so it's not I don't ever have more than 4 boxes.
Mhm.
So
And when you get 2, are you just sending the 2?
I am
Yeah.
yeah, even if
Well, I
I
mean,
try
mathematically, if you're sending 50 items and before you were using inventory placement, you're paying 30 cents per item for
yeah,
inventory placement. So you were
mhm.
paying $15. So even if you overpay a couple dollars on that small shipment, you're still saving money.
And it sells faster. It's
Yep.
not getting like and that's so I've kind of been figuring out like, do I want to save time or do I want to save money? Because if I want
Yep.
to save money, I'll do inventory placement and it'll take 6 weeks before it gets anywhere.
Yep.
Or
True.
just money up front right now and get it sold in 3 weeks.
Yep.
And then I'm done, you know, rinse and repeat. So for me, I'd rather save or spend the money right now and get it shipped to where it's gonna sell.
Mhm.
So and
Right.
sometimes I'll hold it and be like, maybe it'll go into the next batch, but it always wants to go to that one warehouse. So there's no getting around it. Like you used to
Mhm.
be able to just refresh and it would go all in one. Doesn't
Mhm.
anymore for me. At
Yeah.
least not for me.
So what's the blueprint for a younger Amanda to hit 14,900 in sales? What would you recommend a complete beginner do, like, month by month?
Oh, just sticking to your numbers and, you know, like I'm so strict on the 40% ROI and the $10 profit. Just stick to that. Don't try and go for like the low hanging fruit, where it's like a $3 profit kind of thing. and just stay focused on eBay to Amazon, because there are so many times where I'm like, oh, traditional OA, let's shop at Kohl's, where it's
Mhm.
I'm just not like comfortable with that yet. So it takes me a lot more time to learn it, which then in the end I still go back to eBay.
Yep.
Um, so just not focus, like don't get on the shiny object
Yeah.
syndrome where things
Yep.
are just like, I'm doing good at what I'm doing and I'm gonna stick to it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I tend to get distracted easily.
Yeah. That's great advice for any entrepreneur.
Yeah, for sure.
So you want to hit 1 million in sales. Do you kind of have like a 2024 vision?
I do. So I would love to hit even like 250,000 for next year, which is completely doable. So
Yep.
2023, I'll do about 85,000 in sales.
Nice.
Um, but all of them were from like most of my sales were from like September to now.
Mhm.
Um, earlier in the year it was like 3,000 year $3,000 in sales, 4,000. So now that I got my VA running, now that I've got more capital, it's just spending more and buying more,
Mhm.
really. So,
And you learned all your eBay to Amazon from Steve?
yes. Mhm.
Yeah. I'll link his training below for anyone. He's got
Yeah.
a webinar. I think you're probably on it.
Probably.
Yeah. So I'll link that below for anyone interested. But can you give us like maybe one big tip for eBay to Amazon? What's a secret that you found that's helped you find profitable flips?
Flip mine is the best way, but within flip mine is you have to really filter out things. Putting in your profit and your ROI, like putting in a lot of filters in there, because then people won't weed out through, because a lot of times things get stuck in the middle. People only skip at the top, will only look at the top, but the more filters you add, it weeds out the top items and it gets you more towards like the bottom and the middle items where people don't look at.
Mhm.
Or it's just scrolling through Flipmine, just scroll for a full minute and then start sourcing there, because people won't do that. You just kind of have to go the extra mile and just really make sure that you're trying to find items that not everybody else is. And there's so many categories, try automotive, try baby products, try anything that you're ungated in, and you'll find something.
Nice. Awesome. Well, where can they find you at, Amanda?
On Instagram at Amanda Ballard. So
Okay.
I need to get a real handle and everything. So that's kind of, I like my Instagram. So that's
Yep.
where I put a lot of my Amazon stuff there. So
Can they DM you?
absolutely, please. I
Yep.
love it. I love helping people. So yeah,
We'll link
definitely.
that below, guys. And
Yes.
we'll see you at Miami Sellers Conference.
Yes, I can't wait. Can you tell us what to look forward to at the Miami Seller Conference?
Man, it's gonna be a mix of booksellers. We have a bookseller doing 600,000 a month. Joji Davenport's gonna be there. He's doing a
Joji,
lot
love
of
Joji.
Amazon to Amazon flips. We got flips for Miles, Warner Fields. We got Watch Me Amazon, Amazon Lit. So whether you're doing books, online arbitrage, wholesale, Steve Rakin will be there. It's going to be a room packed with a ton of knowledge. And then even though we have these big speakers, like a ton of the attendees are doing crazy numbers, like 10 million plus. So
That's
super
crazy.
excited for that. And it's just like this time it's going to be a 2-day event. So day 1 and day 2 are both going to be in the venue. Where in the past we've only done a 1-day event, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So MiamiSellersConference.com.
Yes.
Get your tickets.
Definitely, especially right now, because I don't know the early bird special, but amazing. I just
Yeah,
can't
the
wait.
price is only going to go up. We had a Black Friday special, but the price is still cheaper than it will be in the future. So
Yeah,
don't wait.
it's worth it.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Amanda.
Thank you.
Boom.